Hello friends, welcome to the Q4 intro. Like my new backdrop? Thank you. We're in my bedroom because this is the exact spot is where my baby used to sleep, and now my baby's got his own room. So I get the cool wall backdrop. The slightly reflective vinyl cool wall backdrop, but I like it. Hi-oh! All right, let's talk about Q4. Quarter one was the beginning was the big planning thing, and we planned real good, and we had lists, and I don't even have a list for you this time because that's not the vibe of Q4. Q4 is get back on track / just do the things that you think you can do by the end of the year. Just do things. It's the vibe. So I'm happy to say Q4 is actually off to a good track. If Q4 is the last 3 months of the year, October, November, December, I have been quote unquote participating in Inktober, which has basically meant I've more or less drawn every day in October. And this, I know it's November, I know, but I wanted to do a Q3 review before I made the Q4 intro, and I just kept not doing it. So here we are. I've been drawing, which felt like the important part. And just like 2 days ago, I started recording some of what I drew again, which also felt important. Yeah, I haven't been doing like the Inktober themes, but I have been drawing basically every day, which has felt really good. I mentioned in the last video, I've altered my schedule so that instead of trying to sleep when my baby sleeps, which is the typical recommendation, I now work when my baby sleeps because I am tired no matter what, and I don't nap good. So this way, I feel good that I've gotten stuff done at least. So I can be tired and be like, but I did stuff, and I didn't get grumpy at my baby because they woke me up from night sleep and nap sleep. So what else has been going on? So I've completely changed my marketing plan yet again. Not really my marketing plan. I feel like the marketing plan is kind of the same. I've rebranded what I want to produce again. I had actually had an idea at the beginning of October, and then during October, I completely changed it. And now we're going to be doing some traditional art. We've been doing almost entirely sketches because I just haven't felt like doing digital art, despite the fact that used to be all I did, because I used to use Photoshop, and then Photoshop got really annoying and my computer got old, and I had Procreate on my tablet, and Procreate I haven't figured out how to make Procreate do some of the things I really need it to do that I knew how to do in Photoshop. So learning that, and while we're learning that, we've just been doodling. Mostly faces. Side scroll, here's my Instagram feed of all the faces I've been doing. So I have a new store idea. Cool. Have I started it? No. Is that going to be a big deal? Yes. I am starting it in the beginning of November. So maybe it's already in the works. I've been a little discouraged with social media because Instagram doesn't like anyone. Instagram doesn't like anyone, but it also doesn't like me right now. I am one of everyone. I'm into hand gestures. I think it's because you can't see my little table, and I can't use my table because I have my notebook on it. So I'm just making visual interest with hands because that's what people want to see. Yeah, so Instagram is just where practice happens. And then one day when I have store, things that I sell, process of making things that I will then sell are going on TikTok, and then probably also Instagram, and everything's gonna go on the YouTubes. Yeah, sure, I'm gonna see what feels good because that seems to be the most sustainable at the moment. I guess step one, money. No new money coming in, But I have actually just canceled Photoshop because my computer is old and I don't feel like paying for it because I haven't been using it for 6 months. Just haven't been using it. So I figured I'll stop it and then I'll start it up again when I feel like using it. And then my credit card expired and then I got a new one. And then Apple was like, hey, you didn't update your old one. And I'm like, I'm not using the Photoshop cloud anymore. I don't really need the extra storage space. So no reoccurring costs other than like the life ones. Wish I could just drop out of the, just rent, bills, food. So there's that, no money movement, but that's always like on the horizon. Celebrate. Let's celebrate some things that were going well previously. And actually that I've already started doing because it's November and I already started doing things in October. Things I've already started doing, things that have happened. I have a website. It happened. It needs more polish, but it exists. And that is more than, that is more than I've had. It is Julie Metz Jr., which is the same handle as my Instagram and my YouTube and my Twitter because lady names don't have juniors on them, I guess. And I'm really proud of that. I've been basically drawing every day in October and posting it, and I've been filming again, which feels good, and that's good. And I've got a website, and I can put things on the website now, and potentially in the future, I can maybe apply to an art thing and then be like, here's some of my artwork. Here's a link to my website. Wink. That feels good. I wasn't able to do that before. I bought a domain. It was like $12. I bought it through WordPress. Why? Because WordPress has been the thing I've been using. And maybe one day I'll figure out how to use another web builder because, you know, I just need to add more marketable skills onto my list and maybe that will pay off one day. Do I sound sad? I'm aiming for sarcastic. All right, so on the agenda, I watched a video that talked about like a newsletter and how no one can take that newsletter away from you. And I was like, sure. So that's on the agenda. If I do that through WordPress, I have to buy the subscription model, which, so we'll see. It might just be MailChimp and with a link. But also since I don't want to commit too much, it's just going to be quarterly. I think my goal will be a monthly newsletter, but it's gonna start quarterly because I'm not doing a lot. And I think until I start doing more and gaining some momentum, I don't feel good talking about what I'm doing. I don't want the newsletter to be, hi, I didn't do anything because I was sad and not enough of you bought my stuff. Period. Next on the agenda is going to be, I have this whole traditional art idea, which I might or might not like, but the cool thing is that practicing it should just make me a better figure drawer in general. Which, I don't know, it seems like if you're going to practice something or put your effort into a thing that might not work out, at least you end up better on the other side. And it's going to be filmed right here. This is gonna be, I'm gonna have an easel right here, and this camera is gonna be here, and this ring light with a shirt on it's gonna be over there, and it's gonna be fun. There's gonna be dramatic paper pulling is the plan, and then one day I'll have multiple cameras and I'll be able to cut between them. It'll be cool. It's cool in my head, but a lot of things were cool in my head. Thanks for watching. I've got some more videos planned. I've got a pile of old sketchbooks and I want to do a good old-fashioned sketchbook tour videos because I like those. I think they're fun and I have some very old sketchbooks. So I wanted to start with the most recent one and just have a collection of, you can see my art digress, I suppose. And I'm doing it in that order because I had this plan to kind of redraw all the things in my old sketchbook and I haven't found the motivation to do that yet, and that's like a project that will take a bunch of time. So instead of doing that, putting that obstacle in the front before I can do any sketchbook tours. I figured I'd put that at the end for momentum. I have a comic series that I've wanted to do since 6 months before, since before my baby was born. I was going to have a comic story of baby process, and I kept telling myself, if I don't do it this year, when am I going to do it? My kid's already a year and a half, and the comic was conception to kid is 6 months was the original plan. I guess it can go longer now, but I haven't been religiously writing down comic ideas like I was before. I want to at least start that. I want to get that done. So the plan is traditional art, filmy things while baby is napping, which will be good because not a lot of them will take a lot of audio. It'll be more just watch me draw. And then in the evening, it will be sit in cozy seat, do digital drawing, try to figure out how to be good at Photoshop. Did I say Photoshop? I meant Procreate, because Photoshop is been just stabbing me. You know, when you're not making when you're not making any money, $20 a month feels like money, you know? And then when you don't use Photoshop for 6 months and you've just spent $120 on nothing. You think Photoshop will sponsor me? And then I on my agenda list, I have project, ? Because I watched a video on YouTube and someone was talking about, here's the link. Someone was talking about this person, thank you for sharing your great advice with me. Clearly it went appreciated. This kind, generous person was talking about how to get illustration jobs and applying to places and sending your stuff in. And all I could think was, I don't have finished work. Big goal of this quarter, have something to show. That's one of the reasons why I want to do traditional drawing, because I'll do it and then I'll go, Wah-ya! And then I will have a completed piece of work. It might not look completed, but it's done. I can hang it on a wall. I can submit it to a thing. I can hang it up in a show. I can put it on my wall. That is the downside to digital work. And kind of the sketchbook, unless I want to tear up my sketchbook, which I do not. Project. So just was thinking maybe because I've got book ideas. I like poetry. I can make a children's book. And then I think, well, maybe I should make a little one. They have ones that I can make a little 5-page children's book and be like, this is what my stuff looks like. And then I can share that with people. I just got it. I think I have to do that in order to show that to people. I'm not quite done with the video yet, but thank you for watching. Is it obvious I get self-conscious? I actually really like making videos. Bizarrely, I really like talking to myself and just you mean I can make a thing in my own personal, quiet, introverted space, and then I can throw it somewhere, and then I might make friends that way. People might like me. I'll get comments. I guess I could also get bad comments, but please don't. So the plan. Traditional artwork during nap time, and then if he's still asleep, start editing stuff. And digital art in the evening after kid goes to bed, and posting some things, because I tend to draw and then just be digging around on my phone and posting things. More YouTube and TikTok, because Instagram makes me sad. And despite the fact that I can look at all my art, which is very cool, I have a website now and I can look at all my art there. And then if traditional art, and then if any of the pieces that I like and want to sell, I will put those on TikTok plus ones that I'm not quite sure about will go on TikTok and probably also the YouTubes. So then the fan community can be like, this is pretty. Do you sell it? And then I can be like, why, yes, I do. Here, link. It's a brilliant strategy. Yeah, and just more store. I have a lot of the general feed, because it's never specific feedback, because they can't be specific because they're making a video for a general audience. So the general advice is make something that people will actually buy. Or the people want to buy, or the people are already buying. And I'm like, but what if I don't want to make that? I also thought about writing, but this is kind of an art channel, and maybe it'll be part of my kids' book. I will write with the pictures. All right, summary. I'm losing steam. I'm glad I wrote notes, because I'm wasting so much time, and I'd be wasting so much more time if I didn't have notes. Summary. I'm not hitting. I mean, I had this sort of, the goal for my art business, so not necessarily this year, was to make enough selling artwork and art related things, courses and jazz, that I cover the expenses of my household. Do I have to cover every single expense of my household? No. Is that what I would like to do? Yes. So that's the big goal. We're not hitting big goal this year by negative money. So, but I'm honestly, I've been so sarcastic. I'm like, but I'm feeling really good about this. Really, I'm feeling good about myself. I'm feeling good about working through the kids' naps, because I'm just tired and I'm less grumpy. And if I had to choose between tired more already, because I'm going to be tired no matter what. If I had to choose between different tired and grumpy, I would be tired. I can do a lot more with tired than I can with like angry at the world. And end of the day, I started this whole thing as like a big business plan, but I've started a lot of things that I've never started before. I've done a lot of things. I have a lot of things that I've never had before. I do have an Etsy, and I just need to change some things on it. I took stock. Oh no. Since I've had a kid, my power of recall. I took photos of empty frames myself so that I could then transpose my pictures into the frames. I took my own, because I'm a cheapskate and I'd rather use my time than spend my money. But I did that, and I edited them in Photoshop and made them pretty, and then I drew pictures and then I put them in there, and I made maybe not a logo, but something logo-esque for my Etsy. And I've made products, and they're up there. I'd never had that before this year. I have a website. It's maybe a week old at this point, but I have one, and I've never had one that represented me before. I've made blogs. Who hasn't had a blog somewhere? But I have a website. I started an art YouTube, which, despite the fact that I've been drawing for a very long time and probably been able to capture my art process before, I hadn't done that. And now I have. I have a ring light. I did not have a ring light before. I invested in my craft. I have a microphone. I didn't have that before. I've got things to hold my phone so I can film with it. I didn't have that before. And I have a real drive to make this work, which at certain points of this year, and for a long time before this year, I didn't have. And despite how tired I am, and how much more free time I had before I had my kid, I also know perfectly well that I didn't do any of this before. I didn't do any of this during COVID when I could have and had much unemployed free time. It is because of my child that I really want to do this. And I love him. And I love you guys. And thank you for watching a video about someone sitting in front of a Bob Ross painting. It's not colorful enough to be Bob Ross, I know, but this is my favorite part of this. I've got a whole, got a whole wall. And this picture showed up in so many wallpaper, like this must have been purchasable, so many wallpaper websites, and not a single one of them edited out this single dead tree in the center. Just something. Maybe they weren't confident in their editing abilities, or they didn't care. They just amassed photos and was like, because that's how you make a business. You just low effort, go, 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 which is part of my plan. We'll see how it goes. I have to actually be good at figure drawing for it to work. And charcoals. But the cool thing is I can learn if I hate it really fast, which is important. It's better than going 6 months and getting real tired. I could tell you in 2. See you next January when I tell you how well this worked. And if I'm very lucky, I'll be advertising the 5-page children's book I wrote. I love you, and I'll see you on the internet. Julie Metz Jr. Check it out.